Do you think that you will look back on this time in your career and be like, dang, I lost it? And that, like, do you think that'll eat at you?
I think it has the potential to do that. I mean, we're human beings. We are prone to wander. I've been steadfast that I want to fight Conor, and I believe that is going to happen. And I still believe even more now. The fight's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen in short order.
有啲好似阿抽 ，this is my game.
Michael Chandler on Twitter has now deferred away from the Conor McGregor fight. And he's now apparently been offered Makhachev?
In Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, in October.
He came out of that pay-per-view and he had his own press conference. He answered a bunch of questions and they were all Conor themed. And it seemed like he was going to be fine to kind of wait. And he's like, I'll make money outside of this. I don't need to fight. I can provide for my family.
Well, the whole time is like, everyone was like, is Chandler being delusional? Do you need to move on? This McGregor, this new version, this new healed leg, big chinned version of McGregor, he's never coming back. He's not doing it. You need to move on. You should be fighting. People love you when you're fighting. And he said, no, I'm going to wait.
But he also said
I've got time.
He said he also needed some time off as well.
Yeah.
If you get given a title shot, you take it, right? Like regardless of what you've said at a press conference, or if you're waiting for Conor McGregor, yeah, sure, you're going to get paid a bunch. But the only other time you'll do it is if you get given a title shot, right? To take another fight.
But would that not be the most insane title shot in recent? Because like we did a podcast about Izzy being the most undeserved.
Yeah, we just did one of those.
Exactly. But like, is that not? He's coming off a loss to Dustin Poirier, who Dustin just fought Islam.
So the funny thing about this fight as well is Chandler has said, oh, Islam, I win that fight because he can't take me down. No one takes me down. And Dustin's like, I just choked you out. Like I'm the guy who gets choked out by everyone. And I just choked you out. And now you think you're going to be. So I do see where people are coming from on that one. Like,
Is Chandler just making it up? Surely the UFC.
You know Chubby Chandler.
I mean, there's no. I feel like Chandler is in a kind of a weird place because it's been promised to him since December of 2022.
Yeah.
All the way till now, they had an Ultimate Fighter season. They were supposed to fight in September back then. Now he's trying to get that to happen now. They just had a canceled fight. I don't think this fight's going to happen, so I think it's smart for him to pivot away from it. The rumors that I've heard from pretty solid sources before we knew it was a broken toe, that it would be a broken toe, but the other half of it that hasn't been released to the public, because why would McGregor say this, is that he is not ready. He's just plainly not ready, hasn't been taking it seriously enough, and he can't go. Like, he couldn't go.
And also,
so he dropped a bottle of proper 12 on his foot.
Also,
That's right.
you know, before all that news came out that we finally found out, oh, he's got a broken toe, there were images of him in the fucking Forge Inn drinking whiskey and back on, like, and he was at a point where he was trying to take it so seriously, he was smelling pints not to drink it. And now he's just drinking. He ain't fighting for a long time. If he's drinking again, he is not fighting this year. And the fact that Chandler was so eager to wait for this opportunity, he was so fine with it the whole time, and now he's changing his tune. He wants to fight Max for the BMF. Is this too little too late for Chandler? Should he have given up earlier on this fight? I know he had a date planned for this gone weekend, but I think what everyone loved about Chandler is like, not everybody knew who he was when he came in. I know he had, if you were in tune with the scene, you know who he was, but like, people, like the casual person wouldn't know who Chandler was. And the fact that he come in and he fight, and he was fighting so regularly, and he was fighting in a way that was always exciting, no matter win or lose, that was the best part about him. I think before Alex Pereira came around, I think Chandler was the most exciting signing in recent years. 100%. And it's like, and if you can attract an audience where it doesn't matter the result, I think that's always a plus. And for you to sideline that for almost 2 years, it's like, you're like nearly 40 years old. It's like you don't have long left. So he's trying to get the big Conor payout with the sponsorship opportunities and all the things that come with it. But it's like, if that never happens, which it's currently not, then like, has he screwed himself?
Well, let's say this. I think what is clear about this is he wasn't chasing the title. That's one thing that is abundantly clear. Can you imagine Poirier? If there was a promised third fight and they did an Ultimate Fighter season and they said it was supposed to happen in September the way it was supposed to happen for Chandler and McGregor, do you think he would have waited? I don't think so.
No, he wouldn't have waited.
And let's say, and you know, obviously there are facets to that, but let's say he lost the second fight with Conor and he didn't break his leg. You know, let's say this would have been to settle the score, and it would have been a fourth fight, right? I don't think Poirier in any stretch of the imagination, because he just fought for the title against Makhachev last month. No question. He's not saying, I know McGregor, because he knows, like, McGregor's made it very clear he wants another fight with Poirier. Poirier hasn't waited around. Poirier hasn't vied for that fight. He's like, I'm going to move on. I'm going to take all these other fights. I think that's the thing. Like, Chandler is a smart guy in the fact that he waited to go to the UFC off a bigger payday from Bellator than almost anyone could ask for going into the UFC as a debutant, right? So he goes in, gets a way bigger payday than the average guy. And so he's in this opportunity now where it's like you said, is it too late? Is he now in this space where he has to wait for something else to open up because he's spent all of his time focused on one thing? I think he's very smart in the fact that he's done that, but nobody could have expected that McGregor, as you pointed out in previous videos, never pulled out for a fight because of an injury. No. He had a torn fucking ACL, you know? And here he is pulling out for a broken pinky toe.
That is a big red
flag. He called RDA a pussy. He said he broke his pussy. That was the literal words for pulling out when they were supposed to fight, and he fought Nate Diaz instead.
Is McGregor Chandler's only last option? If you think about it, he's been in the violence triangle. He's had Gaethje and Poirier, great epic fights, but like there is no one else. Who do you want to see Chandler fight? It's great because
anybody really.
They both get something out of it. McGregor gets like a classic win over a type he's beaten before. He gets to fight an exciting guy who will bring the fight, who is beatable, and then Chandler, if he wins, he's one of the only people that have ever knocked out McGregor.
Well, I think the way it's been worded is that you could take 10 fights and it won't equal one McGregor fight.
Yeah.
What's the alternative now for Islam? Because if Sarukian is out, being suspended, who is there for Islam to fight? Who do you see in that lightweight division that is a good fight for the pound for pound?
Well, I would assume they would just give Olives the shot that he didn't get. He's coming off a loss now, but he was supposed to have that title shot.
And it was heavily disputed.
Yeah, and the loss was very, very close. So if I was the promoters, I'd say fair enough. Give it to Charles. And everybody loves Charlie Olives as well.
Get Tony Ferguson in there.
At 155,
there is no one. Unless, are we just being stupid and missing someone? Gaethje, he lost to Max in a big way.
Well, Max is also an option.
Oh yeah, Max. But then if Max supposedly supposed to be fighting Topuria.
Yeah, Ryan I think Topuria is the better option, to be honest. Yeah.
We've got Sarukian is number 1, Oliveira is number 2, Gaethje is number 3, Poirier is number 4, and then Gamrot is number 5. Then you've got Chandler as number 6, 7 Dariush. And then, I mean...
Yeah, and all those guys have lost. So there is literally no one in those top rankings that hasn't either lost recently or literally already lost to Islam.
Everybody is coming off a loss.
It is as simple as this. There are 2 guys who have already lost to him, mind you, but they are at least coming off of streaks. We want to talk about Dariush. He got destroyed by Arman. You know, you want to talk about some of these other guys. Chandler's been on the shelf forever. That doesn't make any sense. And I fully agree with the sentiment that this would be insane if we tried to set that up. I think it's a terrible idea. Chandler is, you know, a great guy. He's been really cool to us, you know. But
even Poirier
I have to be objective.
Yeah, even Poirier was calling for the rematch. Because Islam kind of has no opponent, he was like, recently he's chirping again online saying, actually, no, I want to do one more. Because he was saying, like, uno mas, so he was tweeting that. And he was like, I want to do one more. And he added Makhachev, and he was like, go again, because someone replied to him in tweets. And Makhachev was just put, no thanks. Which, I mean...
Why would you say anything else if you're Islam?
It was a great fight, and it was really entertaining, and was all kind of, like, behind Poirier. Can he do it this one last time? Can he finally get the belt? But, like, watching that fight back, he didn't really do anything to put Islam in danger once. You couldn't even match Poirier with Chandler, because I don't think Poirier would want to give that to Chandler again. I know they kind of obviously beat him. He
doesn't like him.
And he left that fight with a bit of disdain for Chandler because he was being potentially dirty.
I think the Chandler fight makes a ton of sense. When you lay out all the options, you know, Chandler's pretty much ready to go. The UFC don't owe him, but I'm sure they would like to pay him back for his patience. So I'm sure they
supposedly they have not offered him another fight.
Sure.
So they might indeed owe him, but I also have the feeling If they offered him literally anybody else, it looks like he was willing to
would
fight
say
Max, but that was just
Yeah.
in the last month, the last year and 8 months, not necessarily.
I don't think it's hard to sell the number 6 guy as a title challenger as well, because we've done it with Sean Strickland. Granted, he was winning. Obviously, it's a different
But
situation.
he lost to Poirier, who just lost to Islam.
Yeah, I know, but like
Sean Strickland
again,
Sean Strickland.
we've just been through the options, and there aren't that many. And I think for some fans, they were ready.
Well, just wait.
They were ready to
It's
see.
Oliveira. It's Oliveira.
They were ready to see Chandler fight, and now they didn't get to see that. So for fans of Chandler, they're going to get to see a fight. And also, it could be Oliveira. That's fine. It makes a lot of sense. Wouldn't disagree. Totally think he deserves it. But Makhachev, I think, is trying to move to 170. And I think if there is going to be another title defense because the 170 champ isn't going to be ready, then it doesn't really matter if it's kind of a throwaway title defense.
So what it should be is maybe Oliveira, then Arman, and then Islam can talk about moving up. Because then it's like, yeah, Gamrot is probably the only one left in that entire top lineup, and Gamrot's lost to some of those guys.
Who gives a fuck? Also.
It's far less interesting at that point. And then he can move up, and he can come back down for that matter if Gamrot has proven himself or someone else is stuck out. But the reality is, Chandler hasn't fought in a couple of years, and I don't care how much the UFC owes him. Me as a paying customer, I don't want to pay for that fight.
Yeah.
That's not the fight I'm buying. I want to find like the toughest fight, the most interesting matchup, and Oliveira is a big star, so you got that checked off. You got Islam checked off. You have a big fight between two popular guys. I think that's the best possible scenario. Chandler's popular, but you could argue Oliveira is just as popular.
So this
He's
is-
done more than Chandler.
I think they put Oliveira and Chandler back again.
You could do that, but then again, your champ doesn't have an opponent. But also, I think for Oliveira, like, why do you think they haven't offered it to him? Because there might be another reason.
Well, so they're going to Abu Dhabi in October. They
Right.
need, so how many times is Islam fight a year? You're lucky to get him
This is
twice.
what I was going to say. Because if
He fought twice last year.
October, we might not see him till after Ramadan
Exactly.
next year.
So the thing is that they need to throw somebody at him, and who else is going to step up? Sure, you could do Chandler if Oliveira isn't well.
That's what I was asking.
He's
'cause
injured.
Maybe he is, and we don't know that, and that's why. And
They
Chandler's
could
also being
also
targeted.
skip.
Maybe.
They could also skip the October date for Islam because I think
Skip the date.
early next year they want to go Saudi Arabia. Early next year.
To skip the date to do what? To give Oliveira more time in case he is hurt?
No, to give.
Because
To give-
Arman's out for 9 months.
Have Chandler and Oliveira fight,
Oh, okay.
get a winner,
and then you book.
and then have Islam versus the winner in February or whenever Turkey said.
So you're gonna. But the problem with that is, Luke, it's like let's not put on a title fight in a country.
Hamzat. Get Hamzat ready.
That's not a title fight.
No, but put him in.
Yeah,
Like,
but you've got a champion, and you're like, let's sideline our
Shavkat
champion
Rakhmonov.
and make him only fight once this year for the sake of making a contender fight between two guys who aren't really the contenders.
Leon versus
anyway.
Shavkat in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen, is it?
Why not?
Because it's
Leon's
not.
fighting in.
I could
About-
get Mick Maynard out.
Right,
there.
but you
Send me
still
in.
haven't solved the problem of
What?
are you just not going to fight your lightweight champion for the rest of the year?
No, he's more than happy to take time off when he needs it.
Right, but that's
he was
like,
injured
from a
before
business
Ramadan, was he?
perspective. You have a lightweight champion who has more Instagram followers than a lot of the guys, and you're just going to decide not to fight him?
Guys, it's really cut and dry. It's Oliveira until Arman's ready. Then he fights him. Then he can talk about
Unless
moving
he's
up.
hurt, unless
Chandler does not deserve a title shot. It doesn't matter who they are or how long they've waited. You have to earn a title shot. That's
Yeah.
the way this
Yeah,
fucking
true.
works.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and if you want to talk about from a popularity perspective, Charles has that. He matches Chandler
It's
there.
also like
It works on all levels to make Charles Oliveira.
But
That's it.
what-
That's it.
But what if Charles can't actually fight? Then is it Chandler? It has to be, right?
if we're going on the logic that you are saying we have to have Islam fight in October and there is no one, and Chandler's like, I need to fight. I've been waiting 1 year and 8 months. I'm ready to go, please.
No,
not even
maybe
saying that. I don't
maybe
think he's
he's
saying
the
that.
only guy.
Or maybe you just book fucking Islam at some other date. I mean, like, what's
That's the
the
only other
harm
option.
in booking him somewhere else? That's
true.
fine.
You could definitely do that.
If Islam fights in New York and on the big New York card, where they'll try to do Stipe Jones inevitably,
Yeah.
maybe that can be the co-main. I don't care. Put it on any other card, but like, I don't know, like. Everybody has different philosophies on what the sport should follow in terms of matchmaking. I just want to see a good fucking fight. And I know Chandler would bring a great fight, but A better fight
It's
would be
Oliveira.
Charles
More
Oliveira,
competitive.
part 2. Wait another month if you have to. If he's got a broken toe as
Yeah,
well, wait
something.
another month. I don't
And,
care what it is. We don't need to, like, October, I understand that's a big date. And if nobody can make it that deserves a title shot, move it over a month. Move it over 2 months.
Watch it happen.
It will be
Michael
fine.
Chandler versus Islam Makhachev is going to happen. in Abu
Yeah,
Dhabi.
watch it.
It's
Watch it
probably
happen
gonna
now.
happen
Are you buying that though?
Yes, I buy every pay-per-view. Hey guys, thanks for watching the podcast today. We appreciate it. And did you know if you enjoy these podcasts, there's a longer, more detailed and sexier version available for just $2.99 if you want to join the memberships program right here at MMA On Point. Gentlemen, what do we say to the members?
We love you.
Oh God. Yep, that's it.